Hi, this is Christelle Martinette. Sorry that many of you cannot see the other video. This is a reposting. I had included Sting's song called Moon Over Bourbon Street to commemorate my use of the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. It's a song about a stalker, a bit ominous, but it set a mood. And I have reposted this without that music, so my Canadian friends and some of my South American friends can view it. It was blocked by YouTube. I hope you will be able to see it. It's also available on my Google Plus page. Enjoy it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is another reading, and I'm Christelle Martinette. Thank you for joining me again this week for the week starting May 25th. Thank you very much for your support in many, many different ways. As I always say, the challenges as well as the positive comments is always a moment for growth. I'm afraid that my throat is giving way again. It's got cold in Rome, and all of a sudden the last 2 days, and today I got caught under the rain, so I'm trying to speak as best I can. But the first thing to go is my voice. Now, I have with me two Paro, where did that come from? The tarot. Two tarot decks. One is the Hermetic Tarot, and this is as a tribute to Casanova from my last reading, the Sex, Love, and Rock and Roll reading, because as I mentioned, Casanova was a Rosicrucian. And this is the Hermetic Tarot, the Golden Dawn Tarot, that I've never used before. Lovely deck, black and white. And let me see if I can get the light on for you to show you then afterwards when okay, let's see what comes out. And they're black and white, difficult to see, but let me spread the cards. Okay, now, I very rarely am at a loss of words, but let me see what I can do here. The cards open up with the Six of Pentacles. I'll just show you that right away. Flanked to the left by the Queen of Wands, the Hermit to the right. Across the center is the Ace of Cups. In the center is the King of Pentacles. To the right is the Ace of Pentacles. So we have two aces on either side framing this spread. Then I have the Four of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the King of Swords. There are two kings here. Down the center there is the Six of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Why I stopped short as soon as I saw the Hermit. Now the Hermit in this spread is by far not a hidden card. It is, as the card itself says, the voice of light, the voice of light, the voice of light. It's a card that's inviting us to see the light, to look at it right in the eyes, And the Queen of Wands on the other side is our fiery queen, our very powerful queen, our passionate queen. She's on a throne of flames, as the card itself says. Now, what is very, very interesting, extremely interesting, are these two cards, the Ace of Cups and the back of the Ace of Pentacles. They're beginnings, but they're beginnings of a certain nature. They're material wealth in a spiritual form. Now, I've mentioned several times there are many of us who have difficulty with conjugating, with translating material wealth with spiritual wealth. But we are of this earth, and material things have a value for us. Just think of what memories, photographs bring, memories. If you go to the attic and you see all of the junk that you have, those are material things, but they are full of mind conjuring thoughts. And so that's the best way I could explain it now. In the middle of the spread is this King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles is also reminding us that we're on the earth, that this is a powerful, this is a earth grounding spread. We have our feet on the ground, and it's inviting you to take a good look in the face of light and see what you're seeing. Look again if you don't see anything. Watch it. Look again. See what you're seeing. Don't turn away. This may not have any meaning for many of you, but for those of you that can tune in, there are some things we just don't like to see, and that's fine. We all have our times, people learn in different moments. But it's an invitation to look, at least look, because the mind has a memory and it will bring you back in future times and make you see that again. Underneath the Hermit and the Queen of Wands, we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is the foundation for passion, the foundation for building, the foundation for creating a house. And the Ten of Wands is an oppressive state right under the Hermit, which is the voice of light. Again, this is resounding what I've just said, an invitation to look at that light. Look it right, and I'm not talking about the demons in the mirror as weeks past. I'm talking about looking right at that light. Almost make it blind you. Put on your sunglasses if you need to. Then we have this King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is a figure that is not like a King of Pentacles or a King of Wands, or the King of Swords is air, control, air, more air. It's the air in the air squared. It's clearing the air, swords flipping through the air, and as much air as you need to clear the air. Okay, let me put it that way. And I understand that I myself am starting to sound very difficult, but the King of Swords is a king that is bringing in the truth. The King of Pentacles is behind him, is before him, and stating the earthly pleasures and earthly goods. And the truth is in that. Now, bear with me, because I have my Voodoo Tarot at the beginning of the introduction. Before I did this spread, I prepared a short intro, as you heard, and I put the music by Sting, The Moon Over Bourbon Street, as a tribute to the Voodoo Tarot. And then when I got the deck, came to the table to do the reading, I started to put it down and 5 cards flew out. First one, and then I tried to pick it up, and then 4 others flew out, and I thought, okay, let me get them all out, and I'll show you those one at a time. All right. The first is Aizan. Aizan. She's the Empress. Let me talk about them one at a time. It would be best, probably. Aizan, she's the Empress. She's the representative of love. This is love represented here. She's one of the ancient spirits in the Voodoo Tarot. But she's also a ritual of purity, the ritual purity, and the voodoo of the voodoo place of worship. As you can see on the picture, she has her face covered with palm branch. It's a frayed palm branch, which is a symbol of purity. And by purity here, I mean that it talks about the qualities as clearness of mission, your focus, and your focus of devotion, or just, but not a holding back, right? This is devotion, going in, being clear of light. This is very, very in tune with the Hermetic Tarot message. This palm is acting as a mask, and it's very interesting that it came up now after I read with the Casanova Tarot that works with the different masks and the erotic symbol of the mask. And the Voodoo Tarot is very, very, very an erotic deck, and it's a very deck full of love and eros. Aizan, the Empress, her aspect in this card is a woman walking in the marketplace. Okay, this is a marketplace, and there's a situation, a new situation, a new initiation in the marketplace. You can see, and the voodoo world talks about 3 different births. One of the births is when you come into the visible world, when you are born. The second is provided by initiation. This is a rite of initiation. And then the third birth is when you join your ancestors who have passed. Aizan here with the palm is standing with the candidate who is going through the second of these moments of birth, and that's her purpose. Here the divination and the idea is love as union with the spirit through the process of both formal and informal initiation, and the purity of that. It's bringing together love, beauty, pleasure, but success. It's a protection for the women and the women's affairs. Now, the marketplace, this marketplace, was in this culture, is in this culture, controlled by women. And it's a place where the entire world, men and women, would be fulfilled. Okay? And it was very important for the women to be in charge of this, because the women give birth and the women give life to that. So this is our Empress. She came out flying from the deck. The second is Santeria. This is a number 7 card of the Santeria. I hope you can see that group of cards. Here the Santeria is a goddess of love. Right? Again, we're given this message of love. She's a goddess of love, and she's also a guardian, patron of dance and art, and she expresses deep emotions into the earth. She's grounded. Now, this is a message that tells us that you need to look at the way love in your life. Look at her first before. She has a fan covering part of her face, but behind her there is the mirror, 3 mirrors. She's covering part, but there is reflection. And this is an invitation to look at the ways that you take stock of love in your life, and the way it takes on form and substance. It tells us that emotions take on different forms. The creation of a sacrament, it talks about sacraments and how sacraments can be an outward sign of an inner emotion. And for example, you can purchase a house, and the house can be viewed as an external sign of an internal feeling and involvement in a family, in an extended family or a biological family. The next card that came out, I almost feel like I'm going so slow because these cards are so intense, and this is Laplace. This is one of the court cards, we can call it Laplace, Congo of the Congo suit, and it's a water suit. It's a water suit, and this is the airy sign of the water in this suit. This Laplace is the power of steam. Okay, steam and the pressure and the force of steam. It can be useful steam if it's controlled, but it could be very, very harmful if it's not controlled. The aspect of this card is that the Laplace is pouring water over the knife, and it's splitting the water, falling on the fire of a crossroads here. This is the crossroads. The pool of water in the center of the crossroad becomes a mirror. It mirrors the Laplace. And it seems to recall, and it does recall in this, it's a crossroads between the visible world and the invisible world. The visible world is the world incarnated, the material world, and the invisible is the spiritual world. And, well, physically, this card reminds us of a man, a dark brown, with darker hair, black, gray, brownish, with light eyes, gray eyes, or light brown eyes. Now, it gives us the impression of being incarnated into a person that is full of a force of steam as a propulsion. Okay, now we have the interesting card of the five from the Santeria suit. If you can see that, I hope these are they look like motorcycles. There are two persons with helmets on. And this is the Ogun. It's representative of war. It's not a mercenary, but it is a being that goes into war, steps across walls, he faces the challenges, and it sees no obstacles. It goes through all obstacles. It is sort of the force of aggressiveness and combat. It tries, it seems also as a card of balance. You see the two figures, and it almost looks like the card of temperance with the balance, and the idea here is the containment, to contain your internal pressure, the pressure that you have, just like the pressure cooker with steam, and the outer pressure, containing your stress, containing your strain, and containing the worries of containing constant pressure. The idea is to gather strength before feeling adversity or feeling threatened. Okay. Now, the last of these cards is another major arcana in this deck. It's the number 5. It would be equivalent to the Hierophant, and it is the master of the head, or the self. This is a very interesting take, let's say, on the Hierophant, the master of the head is the self, okay, is the self, and the master is the spirit that expresses and embodies the highest qualities of the individual. And it's not the master in the term, in terms of an external force, as if someone was controlling you, but it is a card again of initiation, to know and try to be aligned with the master of your head, controlling your thoughts. And one of the most, the Voodoo Tarot teaches us that one of the most powerful occult axioms is, and many of you have heard this, is know thyself. There is power in knowing thyself. And this brings me back to what was said a couple of readings ago. See, look at that guiding light, the Hermetic Tarot, the light. Look at it in the eyes. And listen to that voice, because that is how you will know yourself. You have to know yourself. And to be able to know the master of your head means to know yourself in a deep, deep sense. And the aspect of this card is a man drumming. You can see the drum there. To bring on contact with the master of his head. As he plays, he brings on, there's a form that comes out of the drum. The mists that swirl from the face of the drum's head and become a spirit that kisses, if you could see that, kisses the man's upturned head. And this card signifies a profound, profound realization of the self in an internal sense, in an inclusive sense, in a very personal sense. And it would be as if you had, you could conceive of the union of love, and this is bringing me back to Aizan, the union of love and the will to act and look at that light in the eyes. And that is where the road is produced, that the master of the head walks. And I am doing the same thing that I did in videos ago. All right, this is a true service, and it's telling us that the true service is to yourself, is always to the self. Be to thine self, be true. We've heard this over and over again in literature in so many different ways. It's the realization of your purpose, your initiation, your teachings, assistance from forces that are perceived as highly, highly placed, this mist at the top. I'm going to leave it at that. As in the beginning, as in the end, I have no more words. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure and an honor to read with you. Till we meet again. Bye-bye.